Hi, this is Diane Lovetobake on YouTube. And what we're going to make are personal pan pizzas. Now, if you're looking for larger pizzas than this, as far as how big they are, I have I think over 10 recipes of pizza doughs that are with regular flour, bread flour, high gluten flour, whole wheat flour, you name it. I feel like I got a lot of them. Like I said, I believe there are 10 or so. I also have the sauce where you have easy recipe pizza sauce, some that you cook over the stove in a pot. So please, if you're needing a good sauce, please check out my channel for that. What I like about these little pizzas is that I started making them actually for kids' birthday parties, so that everybody got their own little pizza. Now, of course, somebody's going to probably write to me and say, well, gee, if I don't have the 6x2 pans, what larger size? It's going to make a 15 or 16 inch round pizza if you have that size pizza tray, that kind of thing. But I actually get 6 out of them. Okay, I get 6 of these little personal pan pizzas out of this one recipe, a half a dozen of them. I've just brought out 4 pans to show you right now. You will want to oil your pans very well, or grease them however you want, but more than a spray, you really need to have them well oiled or greased. Okay, I'm going to give you the recipe to make the dough. Now, I do not make my dough anymore by hand. I use my bread maker on the dough cycle. I find it's easier, it's quicker, it comes out just perfect every time, regardless whether my kitchen's warm or cold or hot or whatever. Now, if you prefer to make your doughs by hand, then please feel free to do that. I'm going to give you the recipe. I'm going to try to do it very slowly and clearly, because I no longer print out my recipes on my videos due to so many people taking my work, claiming them theirs, and posting and pinning them. I don't even know where there's, and I'm not alone. A lot of other YouTubers are doing the same thing. So it's not worth my time anymore to give out my recipes all printed out. But if you want it, you've got the time to write it down, well, I think you're going to like this recipe. You're going to need 2 packages of yeast, dry active yeast, 2 cups of lukewarm or water, at least about 110 Fahrenheit, half a cup of granulated sugar, 1 egg that has been beaten, 3 tablespoons of oil. You want to use canola or vegetable or olive. You decide which oil that you prefer or have. 1 teaspoon of salt and 5 cups of all-purpose flour. That was 5. If I do get questions, have you ever used bread flour for this? No, I have always made it with the all-purpose, and that's 5 cups. Okay, so I went ahead and I made some in my bread maker, again on the dough cycle. Now, this dough is quite wet, so it is sticky, so you got to have some patience with it. Okay, so I'm just going to put some flour on my countertop here, and I'm going to dump it out on my countertop so that you're going to be able to see the amount and how large this is. Okay, now this is I would say more of a sweet dough because of the sugar, but that's what really makes it taste so good. It really does. And I've made it for not just you know, for children, for birthday parties, but for adults, and they all have responded that they really like it. You can see that it yields a nice size here. There's quite a bit of dough here, okay? So I just want to just work with it just a little bit and get some flour on it to prevent a lot of sticking and bring it together to show you, okay? But it's a very light dough. It's not real heavy or real dense. And then what I want to do is I'm going to grab a knife real quick. And what I generally do is I cut it in half, and then I divide the rest of those slices, the 2 slices, into 3. So that's how I get the 6. Okay? Now, they don't have to be completely exactly the same, you know, when you're doing it. If you feel that, you know, you got a little bit less on one, then, you know, just cut it away and add it to make that one a little bit bigger, or use your scale if you want to weigh it, okay? But I do get 6 out of these. Try not to use too much flour. As you see, it, you know, like I said, it is sticky, so, you know, it might try your patience a little bit, but it's well worth it. It really is. And then what I do is I don't even really use a rolling pin. You can if you want, but I just hand, you know, hand place it. I just stretch out the disc a little bit, plop it into my grease pan, and then use just my fingertips to hand form this dough. Again, you like to use your rolling pin, then feel free that you know, you want to roll it out to a 6-inch round, okay? And then I just use my fingers like that, bring it up a little bit on the sides, and I'm, you know, and I'm ready to go here, you know. Now I'm making it, of course, use whatever that you prefer. As I said, please check out my channel for pizza sauces. If you, or you might have your own recipe, or you even want to buy some that is pre-made already in bottles or cans. And then I'm just simply putting down one of my pizza sauce. I like to put a little bit of Parmesan cheese on the top, and then I'm using mozzarella. You, of course, can use different blends of cheeses, whatever that you prefer. You can put as much or as little as you want, of course. Now I'm just using some pepperoni. I find that this size, I cut my own with my processor, but I get about 10. Really depends on your pepperoni and if you're cutting it yourself or it's pre-cut or that type of thing, but I usually get 10 per. And then, you know, use whatever toppings that you want. I have some ground round here. You certainly can use Italian sausage, bacon, onion, green pepper, mushrooms, anchovies, ham, chicken. I mean, you know, it's endless how you want to make these. You can make them vegetarian too, so that, you know, they're just with your green peppers and broccoli and tomatoes and whatever that you want. If you don't, you know, want to put, you know, meat or ham on it or whatever. So you really use whatever toppings that you want. Again, I do get 6 of the personal pan pizzas out of that. Now I want to just kind of push this out of the way, and I want to rinse my hands because this dough did have eggs in it, so I don't want to touch anything that's been cooked with my hands. Now you're going to bake this pizza, I do, at 450 degrees, and I would suggest to bake it anywhere from, you know, 12 to 15 minutes. It really depends on you how well done you like it, how crisp you like it. As I mentioned, it's going to produce a thick crust pizza. If you are looking for a thin, very thin crust, or Chicago style, New York style, again, please check out my channel because I have them. I really do. So let me show you. what they look like once they bake up. Now here's just one of them. You can see, and I hope that you can see on this, how beautifully high and thick that they come out. Now this just came out of the oven, oh, I don't know, maybe about 10 minutes or so. So it's slightly warm. It's not hot, or I wouldn't be able to be holding it right now with my hands. I want to show you the other, here's 3 more to show you. Now, you will see in the photograph the pizzas in their pans as they came out of the oven, okay? This is, of course, what they've come out of the oven. I had them on a cooling rack, and now I put them on my board here. But again, the photograph will show you right out of the oven, out of these little 6x2 pans, okay? So I'm going to set that aside. And then what I want to do is just grab my pizza cutter here, and I want to cut into this pizza so that you can get an idea of the dough. Now, I usually cut it into 4, you know, like that. You can, you know, cut it in more pieces. So it's just a beautiful thick dough. When you press on it, you can see how light and delicate, how it just comes right back. It's not real heavy or real dense. Let me just grab a fork here to kind of show you the flake on it. It really is, almost reminds me of like an angel bread. Now it is a sweet bread, so you're going to, you know, taste that. It's not overly sweet though, and it just kind of blends with your cheeses, or if you're using sharper cheeses, with that sugar that's in the dough. It really is a great tasting little personal pan pizza. So there you have it. If you like this recipe and you try it, well, please leave a comment, because I really like to hear from you. I also want to remind you to please watch me solely on YouTube, because that's the only place that I put my videos on. So if you do write to me, I'm going to get your comment. I'm going to get your question. I'm going to be able to answer them in a timely fashion. But when I find my work on other sites, I'm so frustrated when folks write to me and I can't answer you because it is not on YouTube. So just wanted to fill you in on that real quick. And, you know, always want to thank you for watching Diane Lovetobake on YouTube. If you're so inclined and you'd like to subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. Give the video a like, or even ring the bell. I can't thank you enough for watching my videos on Diane Lovetobake. So thanks again, and I'll see you soon.